I probably came into the project being uncertain about what my use case for it would be if I was to put myself in the position of owning it. I came away from shooting with it being like, yeah, well, I could own only this camera, shoot with it every day, and be not just happy but proud of all the work that I shoot with it.
Oh, you got this one, sick. This little hit, that was so cool.
My name's Sam Tolhurst. I'm a filmmaker, photographer, and I guess storyteller. I think my style of filmmaking is constantly evolving. I always seem to be drawn to people and places that I find interesting. I've been shooting stills specifically for portrait work on the GFX sensor for a couple of years now, and when I heard about the same sensor being launched into a digital cinema camera, I was really drawn to it because I just think that having that extra sensor size really lends itself to an immersive kind of visual platform. When the opportunity came to pitch a documentary and a story to shoot on the new ETERNA 55, it kind of came to me that I wanted to go back to my roots and shoot a mountain biking documentary. I've been able to work with so many high profile and accomplished people that have done things that I admire, but Sam was probably the first guy that I really kind of had that appreciation for as a kid. So coming up as a teenager and being interested in cameras, like I always wanted to take photos of Sam riding bikes and stuff. So I think to get to the end of this and do some storytelling is really cool. GFX ETERNA 55, one of the largest consumer digital sensors on the market now in a production-ready cinema camera platform and form factor. It has all the standard in and outs that you would want in a camera. A really sophisticated but simple to use built-in ND system internally. It has dual screens on both sides so you can operate it yourself and then have a first AC seeing the exact same things you are in real time. Power draw is incredibly light, form factor is brilliant. It's just a great, easy camera to pick up and intuitively know how to use if you're familiar with similar platforms. Yeah, I think like ergonomically, everyone has a preference on how they like to shoot with cameras and the way that they feel comfortable. And I guess like moving to a new camera, it's important to me that when I started shooting on it, it felt familiar in a certain sense. So I kind of set it up with the top handle that I like to use my own monitor, and it all worked really well with it. I'd say the learning curve of shooting with the camera was pretty short. Got her in one. I loved having the option to shoot on something that had a little bit more character for this project. I think that the color pipeline for this camera is so filmic that it makes sense to pair it with something that's not super clinical or too sharp. I really like having a bit of character with the way that this sensor renders colors, and the natural grain of the sensor works really well with something sort of vintage, so we decided that FDs would be good. It's very reminiscent of film without too much work. I'm not an expert color grader, but I really love the look that I'm developing and getting from this sensor. And if you want to switch it and go to something that's more clinical and more refined look-wise, you can easily switch to the Fujinon zooms or the native glass to the GFX or Fuji's native glass and get a result that looks very different and very polished. Best day ever.
Literally best day ever. Like a real family.
Like a real family.
keep coming back to it, but I'm absolutely enamored with how little power this camera draws. We had the camera rigged up with a focus motor, external monitor and time code, as well as powering the camera for, geez, virtually, I guess, the half a day, a little more on a 199 watt hour V-Lock. And when you're solo operating or operating with a small crew trying to access remote areas, not having to carry so much power is huge. My thing when I explain why I like shooting on the GFX sensor over anything else, whether it's full frame or Super 35, is that you just can't fake physics. I love the look that you get by having a sensor that is just over 20% larger. You kind of get this character that you wouldn't otherwise get. And size in this case definitely does matter. You can't fake it, and the results speak for themselves.